Alright folks, let's talk about the special scenario rules. I said we were going to do that next, so we're playing the advanced game strategic surprise scenario. We did all the setup, so the next step, according to that order of things in the rule book, was to do the special scenario rules. So first thing is initiative. Check the initiative. Non-allied gets it for game turns 1 and 2, so we'll just put that there. Weather, they get to choose, non-allied player gets to choose the season, so they're going to choose spring, which is going to end up being a +1 dial modifier on the weather track. Although on game turn 1 they just choose the weather, so they're going to go ahead and choose clear for that. Surprise, I'll just need to take note of the fact that they're going to get a column shift to the right for surprise. And pre-game movement, I'm pretty happy with where the Poles and the US and Germans and Canadians from the setup roles are placed. The only Polish unit I'm going to move is the 7th Pomeranian to the 12th. I'm going to move them out of sloops, which is they start in 1103, and they're just going to take their half move and start moving east towards the main battle area. So next would be pre-game sea control. So some of the things to note there. Let me grab this chart. You got all your die roll modifiers here. Note that the SSR says allied, or not allied, but air superiority across the board doesn't matter, so we'll just be using these. Notice the game specific are split between inshore and at sea, and again the SSR says don't worry about inshore, they all start contested. So we'll only roll for at sea, or we'll only use the at sea die roll modifiers plus the general ones. Submarine threat level and ASW level will matter. Notice though that ASW is 0, so basically it's going to be a -4 out of the gate. Control of Bornholm or Gotland up there gives you a minus or a +3 depending on who controls it. So the non-allied controls it, so you can see the arrows apply to the Bornholm Basin and the southern Baltic. So that'll be a -3. And then the presence of SAGs is a minus or a plus depending on how you're who you are. So non-allied is a -1, allies are a +1. So if we take a look at the Bornholm Basin, we're going to be, let's pull this back over here again, -1 for that non-allied SAG, -4 to 5, which becomes a 5 for the sub-threat level. We switch over to the game-specific C. Bornholm Basin is going to be -3, so now we're at, I can't even do that, so that's -8. Notice though that every land area adjacent with a port, Germany has a land area adjacent as a +1, so now we're at -7. Sweden does not count because Sweden is neutral. But if you look at the chart, greater than a 6 is allied control. Well, the die roll modifier is -7. If I roll a 9, -7 is a 2, it's going to be 9 allied control anyway. So I'm just going to plop that marker down. So Southern Baltic, these two guys are going to balance out. There are 3 ports adjacent. You can see, sorry about the shaking there. We have the port in Poland, Kaliningrad, and Lithuania. So that's going to end up being a +1 for adjacent ports. These cancel out. There will be a -3 for Bornholm, so that's a net -2, and then another 4 is a net -6. So if I roll a 9, then it becomes contested. I rolled a 6, which becomes a 0, so now we're going to be controlled. And then northern Baltic, the only thing there we're going to have is a submarine threat level of -4. Again, Sweden is neutral, so that none of that counts. But there's a port in Latvia, so we'll be a -3 for that roll. A 9 becomes a 6, so normally that would be Allied control, but according to the SSR, or, well, actually not according to the rules, the Allies have to control sea zones in order from Bornholm to Southern Baltic to Northern Baltic. In other words, they have to control the Bornholm Basin before they can control the Southern Baltic. Otherwise, any result that they get is contested. So even though they rolled for control in the Northern Baltic, the best they can get is contested, and so we will leave it at that. And then the Gulf of Bothnia is going to be a -4. It also becomes contested because of that. So that's it. Next would be non-allied cruise missile or cruise missile strikes. I'm going to save that for another video. It deserves its own special treatment, I think. And then the rest of those things are really just settings, so initiative VPs, automatic VPs, those kind of things. So, all right, guys, hope this helps.